Ho, ho, ho! We are live, and I am just checking if there is the LinkedIn and YouTube live. So, just checking right now if I am live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Welcome, welcome also the replay team that will watch that afterwards. And yeah, we are live on YouTube. What an amazing moment! And are we live in LinkedIn? Let me wait a little bit. Welcome everyone. Are we live on LinkedIn? Yes, we are live on LinkedIn. So welcome everyone to the Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año felicidad. And welcome Kelly.
Thank you.
Welcome Kelly. Amazing to see you here. How are you feeling?
I'm pulling my eyes open so I can see you. I'm awake.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
I'm
Ho,
here.
ho, ho.
I wanted to hear Feliz Navidad. Happy
Yeah, Feliz
food.
Navidad. Thank you. And I would like to acknowledge that it's 5 a.m. your time, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow,
And
you are
and
so brave.
I left another chat. I couldn't I couldn't find it. So I had the music or the voices going and I couldn't quite navigate how to get rid of it. So I was double dating Ollie.
Hmm,
But I'm
amazing.
here.
I'm really happy that you are here. And I have also a special treat for you because I would like
Ooh,
to tell you that you are a remarkable leader.
a leader.
Yeah, you are a remarkable leader.
That's
Like,
beautiful.
yeah, like my cup is saying. And let me introduce you. You are an amazing kitchen angel from Australia. So it's 5 a.m. your time. I would like to say again, thank you so much. And later on, you will have the right to have four-wheel rolls. You have four-wheel rolls with amazing surprises. And I'm going to rock and roll this wheel a bit later. But let us know, SNOW, let us know who you are and what is your passion. So, Miss Kelly, who
Ollie,
are you? Yeah.
who am I? And what do I do? Yes, I am Kelly Price. I'm a qualified chef who had a work injury and is trying to find a purpose for myself. So I'm writing a book and I'm hoping to start soup kitchens globally. So all the discarded food that would normally be thrown out is actually given to specific places where people off the streets are learning how to cook just soup, and it's going to change the world. So that's part
Hmm.
of my fantasy.
Thank you so much. I truly feel this is not only a fantasy, this is really necessary for us to take care about our health and to pay attention about the food we are eating. And right now I am drinking cocoa milk with
Oh,
Belgian chocolate. Yeah.
oh. And is
Mm.
that with normal dairy milk?
No, no, it's cocoa milk.
Oh,
Yeah. It's
what's it taste like?
well, it's cocoa milk, bio.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, and
Ooh.
I don't digest dairy milk, so I just eat drink cocoa or have blah, 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 rice or could be oat also. So, but
Yeah.
any veggie milk, but no dairy milk.
Okay. And, uh,
Yeah.
and how did you find that when you were, was the French language equipped for your dietary dilemma? What, how do you call a lactose, is it lactose intolerant?
I don't think I am lactose intolerant, which in French is intolérant au lactose. But I think my intestine is less and less digesting. In fact, it's about quality milk. I truly believe that when it's quality milk from the dairy, it works. But as
Yeah.
most of the dairy milk is bad quality because of the chemicals that the cows are having, because the milk industry is built to make profits. So it means that we are sucking the animal energy and having some chemicals or pesticide, I don't know. And I truly believe that the industrial dairy milk is dead.
Yeah.
DEAD.
Did. I believe that. Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. There's going to be a bit of outrage. Yeah. See, here I am.
Yeah. That's why I'm really blessed to have you as an advocate for the food kitchen and the food rejuvenation. And thank you
Yes.
again. Thank you again for being. It's not obligatory. I'm really happy to see you, and at the same time, I'm really blessed that you accept this mission to be there in my session, especially when it
Yes.
comes to 5 a.m. your time. It's incredible, 5 a.m. on a Sunday because it's
I
already Sunday in
know.
your time.
So you have to forgive. I look better after makeup and coffee.
Yeah, you are already forgiven. You don't need even to ask for forgiveness because your presence is really amazing in my heart. So right now, I'm going already to so that I don't forget. I'm going already to share my screen and to show you the wheel, the amazing wheel. So this is my screen share with the amazing wheel
Oh.
to 36 different prizes.
Oh.
But not 36, but there are multiple prizes that you can win because you have four wheel turn. And so right now, I'm going to draw the first wheel. Ta, 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 ta.
Is this the Wheel of Fortune?
So you have already, Miss Kelly, 1 month of language membership.
Oh. Wow. What's that
And
mean?
then, yes, celebrate. And then I'm going to add already, bear with me. I hear there is someone on stage. So already, Chris is on stage. So, Mr. Chris, by facto, by being on stage, you already earned two wheel, Mr. Chris. So that's amazing to see you. Bear with me. I'm going to make the three other wheels for Kelly, and then I'm going back to you. So, dear Kelly, here is your second prize.
Oh.
Amazing. So you have then 1 hour of French of language coaching, and I love that because you see CIH. CIH means that it is towards Connect Impact Hub. So
Oh,
because you know what, I'm really blessed because you paid me 4 coffees, so that's why you have 4 different wheels, and one of them is already toward Connect Impact Hub. So well done. And so I'm
oh,
going to build now the third wheel. So you have a second hour of
ah,
French and language coaching. And the way that you see TK, it's because it's not for me, it's for Transformation Kitchen from Chazen Forehand. And so well done, well done, well done.
oh,
And then the last one,
more.
wow, you have so not 1 month, but 2 months of free language membership. That's
Oh my
incredible. Yeah,
goodness. I'm in
yeah.
shock. How
So I am
wonderful.
going to unshare my screen and to
Yeah.
welcome Mr. Chris Pinadella. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Ollie. Congratulations, Kelly. Wonderful prizes.
Thank you. Sorry I'm in bed. It's my
All
5
is
a.m.
fine. You are welcome to be as you are, off or on camera. It's such a blessing to see you on my session, including Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris, how are you feeling today?
I'm freezing. I just got back from that really cold walk I sent you a picture of.
Ooh, how many degrees?
I would say, like in Fahrenheit, it's probably like right around freezing, right around 0 degrees Celsius. I would say 32 Fahrenheit is at least what it feels like. I don't know. I'm just guessing. It's really windy. It's really, really windy.
Yeah. Same for me. It's going to be better, like 10 more degrees in 2 to 3 days. But until now, it's also freezing. And welcome back, Kelly.
Yeah,
Happy, happy.
I touched
All
the
is fine.
screen.
All is fine. Hmm.
The bird's fault. He did it.
Yeah, you are the lady bird. Look
Oh,
at that. Yeah.
hey, buddy.
Yeah. It's quite uncommon to see that kind of relationships, and it's also accepting anything, even the little gifts. And I have an
Yeah.
anecdote for you. I don't have any birds since many, 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 many years, but I will always remember it was 3 to 4 years ago. I was on the park, sitting in the bench, on the bench, and I was probably reading or watching my smartphone, or I don't know. But the thing is that I was near a tree. And at some point, I was listening to something that was a bit weird. And I was looking on my shoulder, and I had a little gift from a bird that was up on the tree. And so hopefully I had my vest. So, okay, I removed my vest. I brushed my vest, but it was like, wow, that's a gift. And even if
Good
it's
luck.
called a gift, it's but it's of course it's unpleasant, but it is what it is. So it's always
It's
acknowledging that you might have also these kind of little gifts because a bird is eating and a bird needs to expose that somewhere. And
yeah,
so it's like maybe it's in your hair or in your body, whatever. So, but I'm really blessed to see that kind of relationship interaction. And you remember me about a persona. that you inspire me to quote. I don't know. I think it's Radagast, the persona from the Lord of the Ring.
Yes.
Not the Lord of the Ring, but the Hobbit. And
Yes.
yeah, and he is really the wizard of the nature, where he's speaking to animals. And I was also thinking about the Beastmasters, the Beastmaster, a TV series in the 80s, 90s, 80s or 90s, and with abilities to talk to animals. So I wonder if you have any discussion with your little birds, dear Kelly.
Yes, and they're quite deep. But I win most of the discussions. But he hasn't. He's only young. He's 6 months. So yeah, no, it's just nice to have another spirit display their affection as a response to your caring for them. So it's just nice. So yeah.
Yeah, so amazing. And welcome to Feliz Navidad Part 2. Marsha Lobos Amaya, you can pronounce her Marta, but I and her pronounce her also Marsha. And Leah will join in 30, 40, 50 minutes. I don't know when exactly, but they will join. This session is lasting 2 hours, maybe longer, but of course you are free to come and join anytime. There is no obligation. I'm really happy to see you, Kelly and Chris. And so welcome also on the chat. Feel free to comment because the best comments, not the best, but the most engaging people will probably have free will also. And of course, I'm really also happy to highlight the fact first that you can join the stage. There is the link on the comments on YouTube and on LinkedIn, and here is the QR code out there. And then there is also another QR code I would like to say because it's about allowing donations. Sorry, Kelly, for hiding you that. I'm going to do like
No,
that, you know.
no, it was better.
And so, because Chris and Kelly, it's really special because you already donated. And so that's why you have already 4 wheels about that. And Mr. Chris, your free presence allows already to have 2 wheels. And one of the most engaging comments will have a free wheel also right now or in 2 weeks, because I'm going to make that as a classic on my Refrench Your Brain. The Feliz Navidad is part 2 and the last part. There is no, because also the Navidad is already over, you know, we are on January, but I was willing to make the part 2, and it was Leah that insisted to have the part 2. So thank you, Leah, for saying yes for that. And but I'm going to make the real rock and roll each 2 weeks during my Refrench Your Brain sessions, so that you are able to have free surprises. And also if you are donating right now with the QR code and of the coffee slash only lyrics, that's my URL. So with that, Mr. Chris, I am going right now to give you the 2 amazing free will. So going to share my screen again, and here it is. So just checking if there is yes, I share my screen. And so here is the wheel, the first wheel for Mr. Chris.
All right.
Woohoo! You have
right.
1 month. And of course, sorry for the spell mistakes. It's 1, not 2, but it's a 1 month for. But maybe it will be a surprise if you have a second month that the S is occurring. But right now, just remove the S because 1 month is already amazing. And then the second will turn.
Think you can handle me for a month?
And so here you
Oh, this is
have
awesome.
1 hour of French or language coaching. Could be Italian if you want. So, or any language. Arigato. If you are learning Spanish, I don't know Spanish. I don't know Spanish. I don't know Japanese, but I'm really happy to have anyway 1 hour of French or language coaching so that you can give value, because it's not only about how to learn a language, but how to learn any language using the brain and heart. Um, and so that's it. I'm going now to unshare my screen so that we are seeing
This
each
is
of us.
fantastic. I've got a good group of followers in France now at this point, so I have they write in French and I try to write back. I use ChatGPT to translate to be respectful, but it'll be nice to be able to actually read and understand what they're saying without having to use a translator. That'll be awesome. Thank you.
With joy. And so feel free, everyone, to comment on YouTube or on LinkedIn so that you can ask me any question, comment anything. And that's it. Mr. Chris, how was your Christmas and New Year's Eve?
Christmas was phenomenal. I got to see uh, we get to reenact a tradition we haven't done in a very long time, which is reading "Twas the Night Before Christmas" in front of a fire, and then we sign the book and we leave a message for generations to come. And just due to like the pandemic and a couple things, we missed a couple of years, so it was really nice to have that tradition back again. And then New Year's, I spent honestly just alone, reflecting, enjoying. It's not really a big holiday for me; it's just another day. So I spent it writing, reflecting, and talking to Kenny a bunch, and a couple of my other friends and family who I haven't spoken to in a while. And I just spent it rebuilding connections. So it was wonderful. I had an amazing New Year. So thank you for asking. How about
Mm,
you?
I will ask Kelly and then I will speak last.
Okay. Um, oh, yes, the same as Chris. Building networks. Because I had a spinal fusion this year, so I've been reinventing my purpose, or at least pretending to have a purpose. So it's really been nice engaging with professional people, because I've tried really hard on Facebook and it's no. So it's been such a blessing, and meeting people like Ollie and Chris and Kenneth and Margaret, and I could go on, but it's just such a nice, safe atmosphere that I feel like I probably missed out because I didn't do that in 2019 at the lockdown. So I'm grateful for, yeah, all the new opportunities are coming, and taking on challenges. So yeah, and I'm writing a book, and I'm learning French, and I'm going to change the food industry and probably be in jail doing it from my chat GPT. So I should start wearing, what are the colors of jail uniforms in internationally? Like, is it a black and white striped outfit these days, or is it orange? For when I get the
Black and
big
white.
the horizontal stripe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I have difficulties to understand what does it mean, because
It
maybe
means
it's
I'll be probably I'm scared that the big bread companies and all the people that produce refined flour uh,
yeah.
are caught out and don't like me saying what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm just
Well,
taking it gentle. I've got a little message, and it's about disseminating it without being um, uh, having litigious outcomes.
hmm.
In
Well,
Australia, it's funny because we've got our internet laws now, so I don't know what is hate speech on the internet. I don't know what's an appropriate narrative if it's different from the government. So there's a lot in Australia that we don't really understand the legal consequence of saying and doing things on a social media platform. So I guess I'm that's why I'm sort of doing little um, groups just to sort of feel my way around it because it's a bit scary when you've haven't talked to anyone for years, and then you've got all these people that are just lovely and generous and helpful, and yeah, and I'm the only one with the bird though, so I bring a bird to the party.
well, the bird is welcome. And welcome also Margaret. Feel free also, if you want, Margaret, to join on stage. And because I see on Restream LinkedIn user, but LinkedIn user is in fact Margaret. So thank you so much, Margaret, for joining in the comments. So Margaret, you will have a free rock and roll. I'm just going to write it so that I don't forget. Thank you so much for your comment. And you have a second rock and roll if you choose to be on stage. Else it's okay, but you can be camera off so that we can also witness how was your Christmas. And before I'm talking about my own Christmas, I would like to say, Kelly, feel free to continue your fight. We need people to make, we need people to be awake. And because many revolutions that we are taking for granted right now was uncommon 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. There is an example, and that's really something like, I would say, what? But in the 60s or in the 70s was a woman that was probably one of the most hated in the science. Her only concern was to make hygiene a norm when it comes to surgery. Because in the
Ah,
60s and the 70s, there was many surgeries, and those that were operating on surgeries were not washing their hands, or what was not mandatory to wash their hands. And so people were having surgeries on people, or even manipulating cadavers. And then the same people were there for operating on women that had pregnancy. And it was in the 60s and 70s, and many doctors says, oh, but it's really useless, it's a waste of time to wash their hands, blah blah, these kind of things. But the thing is that the infection and the fact that people were not washing their hands, that caused dozens and hundreds or more deaths because
yeah.
of the infection. And so she was really taking her advocacy, and
Mm.
at the end she won. And no matter what you are doing, if you are saving thousands and thousands of lives, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Because it's about the health and the autonomy. And also to say labels, we have to now trust labels, because I don't trust any more labels. I'm sorry. Because how many times we see on the news, right now we have a powerful organ that's called AFSCA in Belgium. And how many times I read in the news, AFSCA removed this and this and this product because of the presence of this or this of this element that was not mentioned in the label.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so that means that they can cheat on us if they are, even if they are saying glubi bulga, all these kind of fancy terms on the label that we don't understand. It
Yeah.
means also that they can also not mention things that are really present on the products but not mentioned on the label. Because, by
Yes.
instance, Imagine the product that contains on the first or the second ingredient list water, and it's in French it's eau. It's EAU. But eau, we don't know the quality of the water. Maybe it's water from, the I wash my hands and the water is the water that is used by, so we never know what is the quality of water. Water is water, but there's no, so it's really tricky. So that's why I use the maximum of bio as much as possible, biological product, because at least it's probably not 100% perfect, but at least it's more than 80-90%, rather than
Yeah.
to take non-bio. And the best example,
Oh, excellent.
that's it, the best example are eggs. And I only take bio eggs
Really.
because maybe the chicken are raised in poor conditions. And
Not like,
so yeah, so it's not 100% perfect, but at least I take the best solution possible. And of
yeah.
course, the best possible, the 101% best possible solution would be to take my eggs directly from the farm, you know? And I was really amazed because in 2021, in the midst of pandemic, I allowed myself to a 3-day retreat in the place that I discovered 4 to 5 years before, and I received for free amazing eggs. And it's called eggs that are not sellable on the market. But I
Oh,
think these are the best eggs ever. The two white eggs, the two big eggs, the eggs that are a bit like deformed, or
yeah.
and I think it's the best eggs, really from the farm.
That's good utilization
Yeah.
because they get discarded. If people don't know about it, they don't get involved, so it doesn't become a movement. But everyone's happy with convenience. Ollie in Australia, they'd just rather
Mhm.
buy an instant meal. Did
Are
you
you?
have a chicken? Could you have a chicken in your yard?
Me? No. What about you,
Oh,
Chris?
My neighbors have chickens or had chickens. My old neighbors in northern New Jersey. So I grew up around farms. New Jersey's a weird melting pot where right now I'm right next to New York City where I grew up, and then not too far is farmland, and then there's mountains and beaches. So New Jersey is really interesting in terms of getting a lot of different experiences in one small area. Um, but the thing I was going to ask really quickly is, talking about movements and exposure and transparency, have you guys ever read Upton Sinclair's The Jungle?
no.
Ooh, not yet.
It's a very
Yeah.
famous it's a very famous book here, and again, it's a little America centric, so apologies for that. But it was a book done by a gentleman who went into factory farms way back when in just the meat industry, and just went inside and documented what was going on with horrible mistreatment of animals and just what was being done to meat, where essentially bleach was being poured on meat. And because, you know, um, Americans were not exposed to this because they didn't know it was happening, they were eating it and getting sick and dying. And
Yeah.
again, this is just, we have a modern version of this that needs to be talked about, of well, all the stuff that goes into our food, like Kelly's very passionate about. She sends me messages, and trust me, Kelly, I do read them. I just get 1,000.
No.
So I take them to heart and I put them in my notes. Don't worry, I do read and take everybody's stuff that they send me to heart. So yeah, it's something that absolutely needs to be explored, is exposing what's wrong with our food supply right now. And it is. It's terrible. And America's largely responsible for pushing fast food around the world.
And
Mm.
supersizing.
Hmm.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Super Size Me. There was a movie like that.
Oh,
Also,
that
Super
was great.
Size Me.
Yeah. What did he do for a month or something? Eat fast food with every time they asked him if he wanted to supersize, he'd supersized and he was stuck eating this diet based on what they prompted him to purchase. So it was really interesting to see that
Just
he
be careful
gained
with that
so much.
documentary. That documentary had a lot of controversy about it. There was a lot of factual inaccuracies. The guy did a bit of exaggerating.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Mm,
That's the thing. I don't know what's real anymore when I look at what's available. It's
mm. Well,
just it did.
the the line is blur, and it's with AI and with all this kind of fake news, we don't know who to trust. In fact, even by instance, when you we I was thinking we can trust the Association of Cancer, Foundation of Cancer, something like that. I was hearing the news uh, at the end that was about the oil, I think, that they declare that the oil, a kind of oil, is safe and is cancer free. I don't know, but I was hearing a news like that, and so the major thing is who to trust when we are hearing not only news that are fake and that
Yeah,
are letting us to think that, oh, this is a disaster, but in fact it's a fake news and we are faked by this news, or
yeah,
even something that is true, but it was trusted from a source, and now we don't trust anymore the source because they are they it's like, oh, it's okay, you can smoke tobacco, it's like for dozens and dozens of years, and now of course since more than 10 years we know that tobacco and cigarettes are dangerous. But how many things that we say it's safe and it's not dangerous, like I don't want to be uh, making a tornado in the glass, but like Wi-Fi and 5G, whatever you name it, all these kind of things that are introduced. So I think the most important is to also not adding into the chaos, but do our best to live into a world that is polluted,
yeah,
because pollution is everywhere now, with the air, with the water, with the chemicals. We never know the spray that they put on supermarket on the fruits to
yeah,
preserve them. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So Leslie, thank you so much for your comment. Yes, this is a bird. Can you tell us which kind of bird it is?
It's a cockatiel, which is a native Australian. The cockatoos are bigger. They're probably about the size of my arm. So you
Hmm.
wouldn't see my face. Um, he's, he's about he's this big, about a
Hmm.
handful.
Aw.
I would say a handful's not a waste. So
Yeah. So everyone, welcome on stage. And I have a couple of wheels from the last session, the Feliz Navidad of last year, that I was not yet doing. So I'm going to make it so that I don't forget. So let's say Kenny, because Kenny was there with his comment. And so, oh, it's not shared, but I'm going to share it anyway. Wow, Mr. Kenny, you are winning the jackpot. I'm going to share my screen because it's a prize that is really incredible. Wow, Kenny, you are lucky. Look at that. I don't cheat. Kenny, you have 12 months of
oh,
language membership. So, Kenny,
Kenny, Kenny,
amazing.
congratulations!
12
Congratulations,
months.
Kenny. Yeah, that's a lot, you know. Uh, Yeah. And then for Noni Pepperoni. Wow! Noni Pepperoni also 12 months of
Wow.
French or language membership. That's incredible. I'm generous today, you know? And
Oh,
so, but the wheel is also generous, so you are quite lucky. Then the next one is Charito. Charito, 1 month of language membership.
mhm.
And then Lorelei. Lorelei Molinari. Month of language membership for Lorelei.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You're
and
with
then the last two roles are for Crystal, because she's amazing and because she made a donation also. So Crystal, incredible Crystal, 1 hour of French or language coaching, and directly for Transformational Kitchen. So, okay, I write it so that I remember, because if I don't write, I will probably not remember. And her second role, woohoo, 3 months of language membership. Amazing. So thank you, Crystal, for your donation. That will be amazing. And so, last but not least, I will make a role for Margaret. Woohoo! 1 month of language membership for Margaret. So that's incredible.
excellent.
And excellent. And now we have someone on stage that I'm going to welcome on stage. Who is on stage? Marsha! Woo, woo, woo.
Hello, everyone.
Feliz Navidad! Feliz Navidad! Woo-hoo.
I'm so sorry I'm late.
That's okay. You are chocolate. You are chocolate. Yeah,
Forgive me with my bed head.
it's okay.
He slept on my bed, like literally, he wouldn't go away.
Oh,
So romantical.
yeah, but it's a story of love, you know. So everyone on the comments. I Margaret. I also Adrienne.
Mm.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, what's its name?
His name is Teddy. Oh, Teddy.
Beautiful.
He's a little golden doodle. He's my boy.
Oh,
If you're gonna doodle, you may as well. That's a
He loves
beautiful.
everybody. Yeah, he loves everybody. He's usually out with me when I'm out on my walks, giving everybody hugs and kisses, and they just bring a lot of joy. Look, Teddy.
yeah. Thank you, Margaret. You also won an amazing prize. And thank you also on YouTube for your comment. In fact, we are a blessing. I am a blessing, and we are a blessing. Hi, Adrienne. Thank you so much, and you are welcome on stage. The more we are, the better. Yeah, yes, they are winning prizes. Yay! Yeah, incredible. So, how are you feeling, Marsha?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm happy it's Saturday. I'm here with everyone. It's just I just left Social Saturday Chats live, and it's just a lot of positive energy. And sometimes we need all that with everything that's going around in the world, to come over to LinkedIn and get that hug and kindness. Like virtually, I feel the positiveness. It feels really good. So it's good to be here with
Mm.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, Christopher. Welcome, Christine. Welcome, Adrienne. Welcome, Margaret. What a blessing to see you all. Feel free also to join on stage whenever you want. There is a link on the comment, and I'm going to make another link right now. So, how was your Christmas, dear Marsha?
Yeah, my Christmas. My Christmas, everyone was sick in my family, so it was
Oh,
really quiet. Everyone had the flu,
oh,
so it was quiet. Um, I was actually here on LinkedIn with Shirley, and I think we got to connect like really briefly, Ollie. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice and quiet. How was yours? I'm sure you all shared already. I can go back and rewatch.
yeah, yeah, as you wish. For me, my Christmas was really great because normally my plan was to see my dad 3 days, like from the 26th to the 29th, and then go home. And I'm really glad that I didn't follow my plan. So I was finally arriving at my dad's place on the Christmas Eve, on the 24th of December. Whoop, whoop. And I was leaving my dad yesterday on the 3rd of January. So I went in my dad's place for 10 days. And it was amazing. And at the same time, I'm a bit like worried because his health is not 100% perfect. And he was 2 to 3 days after my arrival, his car was not functioning. So he needed to repair his car. So he was quite dependent on me because he was not able to walk more than 50 meters. So he had me to make some shoppings. And so I made some shoppings for him because I love to walk. At some point, I was walking my record since 2 to 3 weeks. I was walking 16 kilometers in one day. It was amazing. And I was in the adventure nature, walking a path with cars, of course, but pedestrian. It's not the countryside, but it's like there are fields and farms and roads without pedestrian access. But it was really great. And at some point, I went to a path I never took since the time that I was knowing this place. Like I know this place since 2007. So I never went so far, and it was a great connection with nature. And that's it. And my dad is fine, not 100%, but he's fine, and I'm sure he will be a bit better in the next days or weeks. I pray and cross my fingers. And I was able to give him an amazing gift. I will not go into too much on details because it's a kind of personal matters. But at the same time, it was a gift that I was not giving him since 2 years. I was planning to give him this gift for 2 years already, and here comes Maggie. Muchas gracias, Maggie.
Hola,
Hola, ¿qué
Hello.
tal?
muy bien, gracias a Dios. How are you all doing?
Ah,
It's a blessing.
Fine. I'm doing really amazing, amazing,
I'm doing good
amazing.
too. It's so great to see you.
You too, my beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so we have a bird and a dog.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. A
exactly.
puppy and a birdie.
It's bringing your brand into life. Because I feed my bird my food, and if he can't eat it, I can't eat it. So he's my canary in the coal mine. It
Oh, I
it
love
sounds,
it.
but
makes
hey,
it makes
there's,
sense. Beautiful. It makes sense.
there's a lot of pet food out there that I'm sure is not perfect. Also,
Mm.
Hmm. So,
Oh,
Margaret, you have a second surprise because in my
what?
rules, you commented, so you have already won a prize, but then you were also on stage. That means that you have a
Are you
second wheel
kidding?
roll. So, here is the wheel that I'm going to share, and here is your gift.
Oh, how fun!
Woohoo!
Bravo.
That's incredible. So you have 3 hours of Café di Bien mental health session.
oh,
Yay! What a blessing! Thank you so much. And
Yeah,
I just want to
exactly.
muchísimas gracias.
muchas.
De nada, de nada.
You're the gift that
And
keeps
so
on giving, Ollie.
this is
Yes,
my
my real gift is
invitation.
y'all.
Yeah, this is my invitation for every one of you to comment because I'm going in 2 weeks to make another drawing for the most engaging comments of this evening. And for everyone that is willing also to donate, because it's also important, because yeah, so that I can give some Café du Bien with my community. So here is the QR code so that you can. I need to eat. No, not yet. I
Yeah,
ate already a few
for
hours
your
ago. So
donations.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly. So feel
Yeah.
free to go to my URL coffee/Oli Deluxe, or you can scan the QR code,
Yeah.
and a donation will allow you one wheel. So I distribute free wheels, free prizes, but a donation will allow also for you to have extra wheel rolls. So
Oh,
that's for the replay team also. The replay team can donate, and I'm going to, in 2 weeks, to make another drawing for those that are commenting right now and people who are donating. So Crystal was donating, and also Kelly donates. That's why Kelly has a special 4 wheel roll for her donation. So thank you so much for everyone. So now I yield the mic to anyone who would like to share about Christmas, New Year's Eve, or what they would like to envision in 2025.
Well, I wanted to shout out Adrian and Brother Chris and everybody listening, and and I just wanted to say that what I envision in 2025 is better mind well-being, mental well-being for everyone, because I feel like that beautiful girl that was 15 that shut up that Christian school. I feel like she was struggling with something, and if she would have just reached out, and I think that that's powerful, that you have the ability to be able to reach out when you need help. I think that could have been avoided, and I think that this is a global thing, and we're working hard on our end trying to make this possible for everyone, so that everyone has the ability to be able to reach out, speak to somebody, and have a mind, a well-being of mind, and support, because I think that that's what we're all put here on the planet. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
beautiful.
Oh, and another dog. I see another dog. Thank you, Chris, for joining.
Oh,
I lost connection.
The pet family
Hey,
No, no,
show.
you are here.
oh, I'm
You are
here. How you
here.
doing, Mr. Ali? Just come up just to say hello and hi, Margaret and Martha. How y'all doing? Miss
hello.
Chris, doing good. Yeah,
Cool.
doing good.
So great to
Amazing.
see
Yeah.
you.
Like Margaret said about that girl, I think what we need, Mr. Ali, is, and Margaret, y'all know I've been on that mission since I started my room. And I think what's
Yeah,
happening is, you know, our parents need to communicate and connect with their children because children are being left at home and parents are working. Don't get me wrong, jobs are important, but I think our kids are more important. And I think the more that we get our parents, mom and dad, involved in showing kids that they can speak out and act and can communicate with them, let them know till they can share their feelings with mom and dad or whoever, somebody, so they can talk about it and get out. And that might, and I think that would save a lot on kids reacting out and shooting up a Christian school. And not just that, but it's been in a lot of schools, and we need to reach out and get parents to be aware y'all kids are more important. Take 2 or 3 days off and be home with your children when they come home from school. And y'all know when I started my room, I was that team because my parents worked and wasn't there. And when I became eligible to drive and got disabled, that's where I became to come in. And Margaret is 100% right on what we need to do. I just wanted to come up and share that and say hello.
yeah. I just wanted to come up and say hi too because I'm gonna spend some time with my kid before the jam, but I couldn't not come up and say hi to Ollie, who's a huge supporter, of all of us. So I
That's why I
appreciate
came.
you.
Yeah, that's why I came up too, just to say hello. I'm spend some time before the jam with Linda too this week, this Saturday. Spend some time too. That's why I wanted to come up and just to say hello because he's been a big supporter too, and so has Martha too. You've been there too.
Yeah, our beautiful Marta and
Yeah,
Teddy. I
Linda
love
told me
you,
tell you.
mija.
Okay,
Love you too, Maggie. So great to see you, sister. And Adrian, come on up, please. We would love to see your little cat.
Yay! Come on. And Christine. So, Christine, no God, no peace. No God, no peace. Amazing. Thank you,
You know,
Christine, for joining also in the comments.
mm, just listening to Maggie and Chris speak about, what happened. To be honest with you, I don't like watching the news,
really?
but I've been in tune with what happened recently, and it did mess with my mood, like my energy. And also something else that I heard in a different county, not here in my county, but there was 58 losses of community members who lost their lives last year. So it's just been kind of like, you know, humanity, right? Like we have a lot of uh, Tesla robotics that's coming into 2025, uh, and I came across like on Instagram a feed where the Tesla gentleman, which I can't, Elon Musk, was saying how they're, jobs are going to start getting removed, right? And like putting fear in us. And it's like, no, like humanity is not going to get removed. That's why we have to be there for each other. Put your egos to the side and really be there for one another. And
Amen.
as sometimes that could be difficult, right? Because our differences, we may not see the same vision, and it's fine, but how do we go past that? How do we go past that? So that's a question that I would love to ask each of you that's here. How do we go past the ego, past the pride, to really be there, to really like to be there for each other, humanity. So I've just been kind of like, lately I've been taking time away from LinkedIn and also from other aspects for just to focus and like, how can we get past that? It's a question that comes up, right? How do we move forward, but get past the egos and get past the pride and get past, oh, I have this skill, or I have this degree, or I have this job title, past all of that, looking at humanity as who we are. Because when we go to the hospital, when you go to the emergency room, you're going to get treated just like everyone else. You get no special treatment. So that's a question I would love if you all could answer. I would love to hear from you.
Repeat question.
How do we
Repeat
get
question.
past the egos and the pride and the titles so we can work together? How do we get past that? Anybody?
Take them away. Get rid of them.
Get
Just
rid of
get rid of the titles. But really quick, Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry I was MIA. I had the flu, but Ollie, if it's okay, I do have one thing to celebrate that I'd like to show you guys, if that's all right.
Yeah, and then I want to get back to answering her question.
Woohoo!
What is it?
Congratulations, beautiful. Yay.
It is the
What is
proof-
it?
That is the proof copy of the anthology.
Yay.
Oh,
It is here.
wow.
Oh, beautiful.
Congratulations.
anthology.
That's a
Love
huge
it.
milestone,
Woo-hoo.
Can you take a picture of it and put it in the comments so we can find it or
You
something?
mean the link for it
Your book? Yeah,
on
yeah.
Amazon? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can put the link in, absolutely.
Yeah, great, great.
Gotta celebrate
yeah.
with some music.
Yay.
Thank you. You guys know how much I've been going crazy on this.
Yeah.
How long did it take you, if you don't mind?
Oh God. Ollie, help on that one. I announced that I was going to be doing it the week of my birthday. So 4 months?
Yeah, 4 months. Okay.
4 months?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the first of an annual, and I'm doing a special edition with our brother Chris and sister Cherry's story. I'm doing a special survivor anthology for disability victims that have undergone domestic abuse. I'm doing a very special one. That one will come out in June. No, actually, I'm thinking Independence Day, so July. I will start doing a call for writers in April for that.
Ooh.
So,
Wow.
but yeah, it was a lot of work. Hardcover will be available as of tomorrow. Softcover is available, and so is Kindle, and we will be releasing a podcast edition of the chapters within the next month or two.
Congratulations.
Wow. Congratulations, Crystal.
I'm so glad it's done.
Yeah. I know you gotta celebrate.
The final edits with the hardcover and softcover were finally approved this morning. It's just like, it's done. It's off my shoulders, and I'm thrilled. Whitney with her cover art, and then Helena put a lot of art in there too. The cover is mine, but like the artwork on the inside is all Helena and Whitney.
Yay.
You know, and I appreciate that. And every person that put a story in and just supported my craziness, especially like our brother Chris, Maggie, Martha walked me down, like pulled me off a ledge a few times. So did Ollie, Sharon. You guys have all been such an amazing support through this project, and I love each and every one of you, and thank you so, so much. I'm so grateful for all
And
of your help.
and on the list, I would like also to add Jen Lin.
Oh,
Jen Lin is an
absolutely.
amazing angel.
Oh yeah, she's got a chapter actually in the book as well.
Mm,
Can you also put
yeah.
it in for your book too?
Yeah.
So I can. Thank you.
I will do that.
I will do that.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for you too,
I'm grateful
Crystal,
for
because
you
you've
too,
always
Crystal,
been
because you've
there.
always been there.
Had my
Had
back to you,
my
and
back to you, and
I just want to say I
I just
appreciate
want to say
you,
I
and I'm so
appreciate
happy
you, and
for
I'm
you,
so
girl.
happy for you, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I just
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Mwah.
Woohoo!
Mwah.
Crystal,
We
you're
gotta
glowing.
celebrate a record.
Jay, is that Jay
That was
Mr.
Cutler?
wonderful.
J.
She did a
Hi,
book.
Jay. Hi.
Jay, I don't know if
Welcome,
you saw,
Mr.
but
J.
it's here.
And I'm gonna also to announce that it is the first time that I host this kind of event where there is 8 people at the same time on stage. That's a record,
Ooh.
my friends. Never had more than 5 to 6 people at the same time, and we are 8 right now at the same time on stage.
Careful what you pray for, Ollie.
Yeah. Welcome to stage, everyone. Let's break the record. Let's be 20.
20. You're not thinking big enough. I was thinking 1,000.
Well, I'm going to crack the walls of Reshream. Ooh,
Crash.
yeah. Yeah. Welcome to stage, everyone. Let's break the record. Let's be 20.
Let's do it.
Ali,
What
do
do you
you
think
Just a
mind?
about?
long echo.
Ali, do you mind if I address the question that was asked like 5 minutes ago?
Of course, Mr. Chris.
So the question that was asked about, what can we do? First of all, I want to back up about the person that I'm not going to name him, but the person everybody was talking about. I say, when somebody remember one thing when somebody shows you who they are, believe them, and what their vision is and what they want. They're not lying to you. So understand that, and then reflect and understand how much power we all have as individuals. Freedom isn't free. It's natural to be fearful about speaking up against people who have a lot of power. But if a lot of people speak up at once and demand a new type of leadership, a leadership form that is rooted in humanity, empathy, love, and understanding, if that message is amplified and you understand how much power you have with where you spend your money, those are 3 very simple steps that everybody could take to make changes immediately. And even what Ali's doing right here, hosting this room, handing out free stuff. I sent him a message on the side. This stuff, positivity, live in time, gifts, just changing the world in real time. These are all the things we can do. Just keep it going. I love it. Thank you for letting me say that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris, so much for sharing. I can certainly tell you LinkedIn is definitely a place to be for anyone that may be facing adversities. LinkedIn community has become even greater than my own family, right? Because it really, anytime I'm down, I know I can reach out to someone here and they'll be right there to help me get through it. Because we all go through adversities. We have our days that were really good, and we have our days that were not so good. So what do? Don't do it by yourself. Ask for help. Ask for help.
Excellent advice.
Could it be because it picked up the earbuds?
Yeah. For replying the question, I think it's it's in an individual basis, because else we are saying I'm not going to be able to change the world, which is false. We are changing the world by changing ourselves. And my goal is not to control or influence anyone, but to do myself, my inner work. And there is a noise here. I don't know who is making the noise. Um, to change myself and to do my best, also to, in fact, to give good vibrations, to not add into the chaos. So feel free, Kelly, to tell Crystal if you are from West Virginia, if your family is from West Virginia.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, Kelly. Reason I asked is because my biological side of my family is the Price family. That's why I was asking.
Well, we're family.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware. I haven't done my own family tree. But
Me either.
we're all family, aren't we? We're all just
Right?
and we just make the most of what we can without hurting other people. It's pretty easy, isn't it? It's nice.
Well,
I
I love you guys. Go ahead.
Turn back. Yeah.
Honestly, with your question though, Martha, get rid of the titles. Everybody's equal. That's the best way to do it. To get rid of the ego, to get rid of the titles. Yes, you do need a chief when it comes to organizing and working together. You do need somebody to lay the groundwork. But at the end of the day, as long as there's equal and respect, there should be no ego. There should be no true titles. Just get rid of the titles, get rid of and that gets rid of the ego. If everybody's on balanced footing, then there should be no need for it. You know, if we're all working towards a good cause, for the same outcome, why not collaborate? Why not do it all together? Oh,
yes.
Oh, yes.
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 Oh my God.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome, college. Oh my God. I have been trying to get you on a panel. Oh boy. Hello, my dear. Ollie met him through my YouTube channel. And
yes,
he was very kind and donated to Kristen, the Christmas fund that Kristen Vaughn was promoting and everything. And thank you again from her as well. She was just totally sick. But welcome, college. Oh my God. I'm so happy to see you and hear your voice.
Welcome, college. Feel free to speak or to write anything. Who is behind this name? Is there a first name so that I can say not hello, college Hogwarts, but hello, whoever is named. So welcome, college, to unmute if you can.
Well, welcome to the stage, college. If they choose to,
Yeah,
I'm sure they're choosing anonymity for a reason.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to meeting college level Hogwarts. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I think this person is an amazing Harry Potter fan. Ooh. So feel free
My dog
to
looks like
take...
Dobie, so I'm definitely a Harry Potter fan.
Toby Kenobi, no?
I guess I'm one who flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What a beautiful hat, by the way.
It's the wand collection.
What?
And the sorting hat.
Wow. Love it. Woo-hoo.
That's a lot of fun.
What a fan. What a fan. It's fantastic. Amazing.
Are you Gryffindor or Slytherin?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. All right, I like it.
Well, actually, no. I'm more Hermione. I am the Ravenclaw of Gryffindor, to be honest. Okay, I'm more like Hermione. I'm very studious, but I'm also Russian balls first. Ask questions later. So yeah, I'm the Hermione, I guess. So Gryffindor, but in Hogwarts Legacy, I have a character in all 4 houses. That game is awesome.
I actually saw Emma Watson like 2 summers ago, like right up the street. Hermione was jogging up the East Ave here in Bayhead, New Jersey.
Nice.
Ooh.
I don't get starstruck when it comes to that kind of stuff because of growing up with my sister. She dated football players, so I was around it. I'm not even kidding. When she was cheerleader at University of Miami was when The Rock played for U of M. So, I mean, and that's back when U of M had a team. Go figure. So yeah, I don't get starstruck, but I do think it's cool. You know. Okay,
No.
who am I kidding? When I met Ava Fire, I so fangirled.
Everybody's just a person, and you find out very quickly when you meet somebody like that they're just a person and they have interests just like you do.
Yep. But yeah, when I met Ava Under Fire both times, I fangirled.
I fanboy over Kenny, and he's one of my best friends.
So. I love you, Ollie. I'm so glad to see you, and Martha, and Maggie, and Jay. And nice to meet you, Kelly.
Thank you.
But I do have a live I have got to get ready for.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Crystal, for joining.
Through a different device. I will hang out for a few more minutes to see if he can get in.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I will be going live in about 3 hours promoting the book. If you're still up, Ollie, and just kind of doing a hangout talk, and I will post the link for anybody that wants to jump up and join. So,
of course, with joy and blessings also to you, Christine.
Thank you. So, big hugs and kisses, but I've got laundry to do beforehand. And I love the bird, by the way.
Thank you.
Can I just tell one silly story about a bird just like that real quick?
Of course.
My dad got a bird like that by accident, and he named him Trigger. It was at the marina down in Miami where he worked. And it was flying free. It was on a power line, and all these guys were just calling to it. Dad was in a bad mood, but he happened to whistle, and it came straight to him. Hence the name Trigger, because it triggered a better mood. Now, the reason I will not eat pecan pie is because Thanksgiving, Mom was making pecan pie in the kitchen. Trigger was flying around. Guess who flew into the batter?
Oh, Trigger.
Yes. We got him out of the batter. Dad and I took him outside to wash him. We got all the feathers out and everything, but I think Mom still made the pie. So since that day, and I was about 11, I have not eaten pecan pie since then.
You could take it broader than that. You could just do no dough.
But yeah.
It's dough.
But yeah. So whenever I see, and he's got the same coloring and everything.
Has he?
Yeah.
What could he talk?
But this was God. I'm 40 now, so. Holly, Hogwarts, Henry, please see if we can hear you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, friend.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. I hope that you are doing well. This morning, this afternoon, I know that we have a international audience or panel with us today, so it is nice to be able to meet new folks and finally connect with the two wonderful beings that brought me here. First of all, Ali Jerix and Crystal Phoenix. A pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. And Henry, so now you get to meet the LinkedIn family that I'm always talking about. Martha, Jay, these are my LinkedIn people that I'm constantly talking about.
It's a pleasure to meet them. If I'm not mistaken, I think we heard from Jay
Mm,
2 days ago, I believe. He was speaking with Ali about, I think, Chamorro, which is a language from Guam. And I know that Martha has been here on previous live streams, though I haven't had the chance to hear from her until today. So it is nice to finally do so. And I am working on creating the LinkedIn account. I just keep getting sidetracked by so many different things. So I'm not ignoring you on purpose, Crystal. I'm just also trying to juggle various things at once. But we will connect through LinkedIn at some point.
I was gonna say you can always look me up on Facebook.
That might be a little bit easier for me for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your support, Henry, and thank you so much for joining also. What a blessing to hear more from you and to connect with an amazing other human being. And thank you so much, Crystal, for bringing the amazing vibes out here.
Well, I love you guys, but I do have to get ready for my live and fold laundry before the
Yes,
snowstorm. We are about
yes,
to get
yes.
20 inches between the next day. So,
20 inches. Whoa.
Amazing.
But I did get my new coat, which I absolutely adore. I'm so happy with it. My new heated jacket, it works amazing. I have to send Martha or Maggie the link since she's about to get hit with the same storm I am.
Mm,
So, love you guys.
thank you.
Thank you for stopping by, Crystal.
Always.
Thank you, Crystal. Yeah. And Mr. Henry, how was your Christmas?
It was nice. I spent it at home with my family. Very nice and quiet. A little surprised that Santa brought me some gifts as well. Was not really expecting it, but it's nice to know that the tradition can still live on even as adults. And I don't believe we have any younger members here in the audience, but to still be respectful of the spirit. That is how Christmas goes. The spirit of the holiday changes a bit as you age, but it can still be kept alive. And that is the beauty of it. It's really spending the time with family, if possible, and being able to enjoy one's company is really great. Um, we did end up visiting a. It's not Christmas, so I am kind of changing the answer, but we did spend New Year's Eve with a relative, and we were have enjoying our times, talking with one another and such. And I think I was the first one to notice. Oh wait, it's already midnight. We were missing it by a few seconds, so we quickly embraced. It was nice, and it's been wonderful so far. Of course, a lot of things happen in the world, and I will do my best to not really mention that here to maintain this atmosphere of positivity. But it is again nice to be able, in my case, to really enjoy the holidays with my family, and I really wish that everyone else could. Um, it's not always possible, and there are people who do make an effort to change the situation so that they can better enjoy the time spent with family for next year. So I applaud those who might feel like throwing in the towel, saying it's just not worth it. I tried so much and still decide to try again. That really is a strength of people that I think at times is very much missing. Thank you.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Henry. Glad to hear from you and to that you all went well. I'm blessed also because all went well also with me and my dad. And my dad has some healthy challenges, but it's not bad. But he is less and less able to walk as he was able like 5 years ago. So he was having his car was not starting anymore. So he was a bit like dependent on others' will. And I was blessed that I decided to stay with him extra days, just leaving him yesterday, so that he was able to have enough food on his fridge because he was not able to make some shopping because he was depending on his car. So yeah, and it's always a bit challenging for me, and but we had great moments and amazing conversation, and I was able to give him a gift that I was not giving him for two years. So at least I was able to write him also an amazing letter, and yeah, so it was marvelous. So aside that, Mr. J, you have the mic.
Thank you, Ali. Man, it's this year we did it a little differently. My kids, they're grown adults, and they're scattered, and obviously there's some obligations and work and all those things. So we didn't spend time together this holiday season. So, um, but we did on Thanksgiving. I think we all uh, made an effort to gather together here at my house on Thanksgiving because we knew that uh, like Christmas and New Year's was going to be difficult for all of us to get together. So uh, it was great that they came, and we didn't exchange gifts, but we had a lot of food. We had a lot of food, and in a Pacific Islander home, that's important. we, we love to break bread, literally, right? And get together. Um, and one of the very uh, uh, famous, I guess, bread recipes in Pacific Islander homes is pani popo. If you ever had that, oh my god! Let's just say it's delicious. You can actually make it pretty easily, but if you're diabetic, kind of stay away from it.
Is it as sweet as pupusas and tamales?
Oh man, even sweeter because it's a lot of sugar and a lot of coconut milk, um, and it's a bread all together, and it's so delicious. Anyway, I'm getting very hungry already talking
I'll
about
need the recipe.
it. Oh man, I'll give it to you. There's a whole there's a whole slew of TikTok videos out there. So if you are a fan of TikTok or on TikTok, it's out there. People are making it, and there's some quick hacks where you can get dinner rolls at the store and kind of meld it in together. But oh my gosh, like yeah, it's one of the um, Samoan delicacies. I can thank my Samoan brothers and sisters for
Oh,
that.
dude,
Yeah, they
that's
they lovingly say that this is part of the reason they're so big in stature because of Pani Popo. Um,
that could be the name of my book.
eh,
Well done.
oh yeah,
Because
Thanksgiving was really big.
Popo, I don't know what do you think about. I don't want to be more uh, challenging about the word. For me, Popo means when you are making your thing in the toilet.
Or it's police, the popo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
is that how it's spelled in your cooking recipe? The popo.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. It's PANIPOPO. Pani Popo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't.
pani is a bit like in Spanish now. Panos, pani, like pan, like a bread. So it's really, yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
right, and I think that's where it comes from. Wait, oh yeah, the pan is also the same in the Chamorro language. So like we love all kinds of breads.
You guys are gonna kill Kelly here.
No, no. I'm. I hope there's no judgment being formed because of my title. I might have to soften it.
I'm just trying to have a laugh. I'm kidding.
I so I keep
Yeah, you don't have to soften it. Dinner rolls are pretty soft.
if they're fresh.
Is it fresh? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's got to be fresh.
Just checking. Yeah. It's quality control. Sorry, I'm making coffee.
Yeah, I'm
Great,
with you though.
great.
I love the sweetbreads, man. I'm a sucker for them. We got a panettone that I just won. It's like a Italian, actually I don't even know. I think it's Italian. It just sounds Italian. But
Yes.
we had one of those exchanged at a White Elephant at Christmas, and I have destroyed over half of it, and that's why I've been going for walks, Ollie.
It's pretty instant, the results, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did you eat your panettone? Did you toast it?
I don't know, but you could probably see my face has gotten bigger in the past couple of days.
Take some photos. It's before and after bread. No. It's evidentiary. Sorry.
And in Italian, you pronounce it with the E at the end. Panettone.
Panettone.
Yeah.
So, how do the Italians? That's the same. What's the tradition?
It's
my last name's Italian. I'm not very Italian.
Oh, okay.
No?
Yeah.
I mean, we traditional dinners and stuff like that, but I don't speak it. It's more about like culture and family and stuff like that. But the language and the traditions of Italy did not pass through Ellis Island to me. It's just New Jersey.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so welcome, Leah. Feel free to join the stage whenever you want. And also, Lisa, thank you so much for your presence also. Hello, beautiful people. Happy New Year to any one of us. Welcome, everyone. Feel free to join the stage. This session will last probably 30 minutes. I will probably make not more than an hour, but you are welcome to join because I can be there for 3 more hours. There is no limit on Restream. But of course, I'm mindful about your time. I'm really blessed to have an amazing humans on stage. So Kelly, Chris, Marsha, Jay, and Hogwarts, College Hogwarts, Henry, welcome. What a blessing to welcome you and to welcome myself also. So feel free to talk about anything that you would like to talk. What do you envision for 2025, by instance?
I guess I'll speak for a moment. My hope for 2025, specifically about me, is, in a sense, growing a bit more to be able to not just help myself, but those around me, because I see that there are going to be many unique challenges in this year. And now that I'm trying to get more involved with my local community, learn about some issues that maybe I had no idea about before, I see that there's going to be a lot of work to do. And at this point, at the very beginning, I remain optimistic that some change can occur, even if it is slow. But I know that I will have to be patient, that I will have to make sure to pace myself and not burn out, because that is the worst outcome possible, to have so much good intention and goodwill just disappear because I would bite off more than I can chew, or try to plan for something too big when I really am not ready for that yet. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I am, for now, looking to meet more local people in my area to, as I said, get a better sense of how the situation actually is. And I think that it will be good if I make any progress in that, even if it's very small, like, oh, I helped out with a food bank efforts, I will make sure to share that. And that will be my main goal, just trying to get myself ready for the work that is to come. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Godspeed.
Henry. Yeah, I agree with Henry on that. I definitely also, I really recommend, and I've always recommended to share what you're doing in the community, because whether it's on LinkedIn or any other social media platform, other folks are watching what you're doing. They'll get motivated to want to go out and do the same thing, or maybe other greater things. You never know, right? So, yeah, I'm big on collaboration 2025. And like Henry said, this year is going to be an interesting year. Unfortunately, I do anticipate more folks becoming unhoused because of the rental market, um, more folks living in their cars, especially our seniors. They're getting hit pretty hard as we speak. I'm seeing more and more seniors out there, women and men. So yeah, it's a big conversation, but if we all unite, doesn't matter where we're at in the world, we all can make a huge difference in our own communities. So 2025 is about actions and collaborations for me this year.
Beautiful.
So, Sister Marcia, you and I need to have a conversation. I have a mentee who is about to lose his home, and he's struggling. And really, he's going through a lot of things. And, as usual, right, there, in instances like this, it kind of cascades, right? It starts off with a little thing, and then more than often than not, there's all these other issues that come along with it. And I'm trying to help him through this moment, but I don't know what the resources are for him. Um, and so maybe you and I can talk offline about that. But it's something that I was thinking about during the holiday season. I go back to the time when I first learned of this statistic, the statistic that says, you know, American families are one paycheck away from being unhoused.
Mm.
And it's startling because I'm seeing it happen in a lot of my networks and places that I thought that they were okay.
Mm.
You know, you can't normally just look at a person and tell, oh, they're going through a lot and they're about to lose their home. So,
Mm.
you know, one of the things is for us to do is to be mindful, um, because we don't know what people are going through just by looking at them. So that's one thing I've learned recently is that they could be talking a big game and behind the scenes things are falling apart. So I I think one of the things I want to do in 2025 is to look to Paulette and her example and what she does. I want to be there for people authentically and you know not just as a person who talks about it. I want to be about it. She to me is kind of the epitome of what a human being should be. She doesn't judge and she works tirelessly to help everybody. Everybody. And I can't even imagine. She's got such a big heart. Um, so I just end it with that, I guess.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in really quick. I'll make it fast. I was getting emotional, Jay, as you were speaking, because Paulette is definitely one of the souls who encouraged me on my journey. And because of her, and I thank her so much, she put that fire in me to keep moving. But actions, we could talk all day long, but our actions is what's going to get things moving. So, Jay, thank you so much for sharing. And I'm sending you so much love and hugs from California. And anyone that needs resources, I do look for resources on a national level here in the US. I'm still learning more of the international level. So I do plan on having events where we're talking about these conversations for our in-house folks, because it's not just here in the US, it's a worldwide issue. So yeah, thank you so much, Leah. So great to see you.
It's perfect.
Well, speaking of resources, if you have them on a national level, I'm standing up a nonprofit to try to address some of the things that everybody's talking about. So I could definitely use some resources.
Excellent.
Well, there is Kelly and I that could end this question. So, Kelly, you have the mic.
Yes. This year, I've already, last year I started the process, got involved with the community. And from that, my network's just been growing. But it's a community, it's outside the church, because I'm doing my church during the week, and I go for feeding, an hour a week. But I'm volunteering. I'm trying to create a movement of awareness of food and the mood and the consequence of your health. So I'm writing a book while I'm also trying to navigate government, because I've had a spinal surgery. So I'm trying to utilize my talents from my bedside pretty much at this moment. So I'm clumsily trying to navigate LinkedIn and all these new platforms. So it's just going to be a year of learning and growing and planting seeds and making sure that they're watered. And so yeah, I've got the book going, and I'm actively involved in trying to have a 24/7 soup kitchen in the middle of Sydney, where the people that make the soup are the community that's abandoned and discarded, and they will learn a skill and they'll appreciate that soup is enough. You don't need bread, and you don't have to sing for your supper necessarily, but teach them how to make from scratch. Just yucky looking stuff that's thrown away, use it. And so I'm just trying to educate people with, because I've got a donation program. I've DOUGH dash nation. So I get my neighbours, they all give me the stuff, the tired food that they don't want to eat, and I'll cook something up and I make a meal for 6 people in the apartment block, because there's a lot of single people. So it's what the donations I give or get, I make something out of them and I give it back. So I'm trying to be as practical as possible, because there's no use in me speaking if I can't act it. And so I'm just fine tuning me and seeing what I look like at recover, like when I'm better, and see what I'm capable of doing, because I don't know. It's a new adventure with all of you. So thank you. I'm just hoping to change lives. But I want it to be global, but that might be delusional. But I'm just going to put it out there. I've got nothing to lose, and yes. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
You're talking on a platform with 8 billion people. You can make it global.
I'm just scared I'll say the wrong thing and be sued before I get even.
That's the thing. That's who cares? Let go of that fear. Real change is going to come when we stop worrying about what might happen and start acting on what we know can happen.
Yep. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
Kelly, what I'm doing here is I'm calling, I'm showing up, whether they like me or not, whether I'm likable or not, I'm showing up and I'm asking questions. You know, I'm putting myself in positions where it's very uncomfortable sometimes to speak to a parole officer, to speak to a police officer, to speak to an executive director, you know, to start putting yourself out there. But if we just sit and continue to watch it happen, what's going to happen is the universe, God forbid, we end up becoming one of those folks out there on the streets, because it could happen to anyone, whether you have the highest education in the world or the title. And I know I keep going back to that, but sometimes we may think, oh, this can't happen to us. But like COVID, it can happen anywhere at any time.
Yes.
Yeah, and also to not have the mentality of not in my backyard or whatever, it's not concerning me, blah blah blah, because there is this famous quote like they came for the Jews and I didn't protest. They came from the black people and I didn't protest, and at the end they were nobody when they took me. This kind of quote. So I think whatever happens to our humanity community is going back to us sooner or later, because it's the butterfly effect. Even if it's happening to Australia or Ghana, Ethiopia, whatever, it has effects on us sooner or later. Because what happened to Syria? Lots of refugees. What happened to Ukraine? Lots of refugees. No matter what, if there is a place in the world that are triggered about natural disaster or human catastrophe or human decision, it's going to impact the whole world.
Yeah.
So it's really to realize that we cannot be having freedom if there is a place on earth that doesn't have freedom.
But that's when you've got to come back to the core individual and the values. Do we have a global value system that's fair across the board? And I don't think we do. And I think
that's a true challenge, because it's the human family is 8.2 billion people, and I'm sure that the human family has at least 95% of the people that are concerned about what happens all around the world. But still we are governed by people that has a lot of ego, that are not connected to their heart, and that doesn't really realize what will happen after their mandate, after 4, 5 or 6 years, or that doesn't care about what's happening outside of their countries, or whatever quote unquote they are helping in the back seat. We don't know as citizens, but in back seat there is, oh, I give you that, but lend me 2 or 3 times the price of what I lend to you. This kind of things mentality. So to realize that we are on the same planet, and that what's happened everywhere in the world, there is no border. Birds are not birds or animals in the nature. They don't care if they are crossing US or Canada, or they don't care if they are crossing Morocco or Algeria or Saudi Arabia or whatever. They don't know the borders. The borders are only from us. And it's to realize that it's to already be aware about that and not put our head on the sand. At least if we cannot be able to change anything, we are probably better to not contribute to add to the chaos. And so it's to realize that we have all the footprint, and that it doesn't mean that we have to go back to quote unquote the Middle Age and to live with the candles. But it's to realize that we cannot thrive as a human species if we are having zones like the third world or the fourth world. So that's my share. Thank you. And anyone, feel free to to take the voice, take the mic, and anyone feel free to join also on stage. This session will end in 20-25 minutes maximum.
Just one quick share, and then I'll let anybody else go. But these uncomfortable conversations, they're uncomfortable for both parties involved, right? And that's something that everybody needs to remember. As scared as we are to have them and to speak up and we need to realize that the systems of control and the systems of power that are in place are there to make us scared and feel uncomfortable, because they don't want us to have the strength and the courage to say what is true. So when we hold up that mirror and we show them exactly how they've been making us feel and how uncomfortable they've been making us feel for a very long time, and everybody else starts to wake up and realize how uncomfortable they have felt for a very long time, and that this boiled frog syndrome has gone on too long. The pot's boiling and we're PO'd. They're gonna have to listen to us and answer. And with that, I'll just stop.
Love that.
Go ahead,
So
Jay.
yeah, thank you. I keep forgetting. I was homeless myself. I, I've I wanted to make sure that my narrative wasn't one of being a victim. That I completely forget sometimes that I was at one point without a home. And it was through no fault of my own. It was a natural disaster that took mine. It wasn't the bank. And coming from that perspective, trying to get back on your feet, trying to push through, it's a daunting task. It is. And the systems that are supposed to be here to protect us and to help us through it, sadly, a lot of them fall short. And it's really down to the people that we see on the screen and everywhere else for us to take up the cause and to do our part. And if it wasn't for people doing their part, I wouldn't be sitting here. So for us to reach out, for us to even ask for resources for a friend, it shouldn't be outside of our wheelhouse to do so. As a human being, you know what it's like to be struggling. You know what it's like to be in lack, maybe in varying degrees. So, what if in that moment somebody helped you? Do you remember what that felt like? Just think of it in that sense. If it's difficult for you to even fathom it, look at it from the perspective of remember that time you had a problem. Somebody reached out to help pick you up. Just something as little as, hey, bud, I don't got much. I've got a bottled water here for you. Are you thirsty? Here you go. Hey, how about a cup of coffee? And join them in a chat over coffee. How about that? Something that little. You will find that that little thing can be the one thing that tears them away from something so tragic. And I just thought that in this moment, like, wait a minute, I was homeless. I was unhoused. I was the guy worried about my kids and where they were going to sleep, what they were going to wear. It's tough. I don't wish it on anybody.
I agree, Jay. And a lot of us don't talk about our own adversities, right? For shame. And we'll be behind closed doors, but we'll be showing the world how happy we are, but we're really in the background, we're struggling or we're miserable or whatever. So how do we step away from that to break those barriers that we put on ourselves? Because I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of that. And this year, 2024 was one of the most difficult years of my life. You know, finding myself unhoused. I don't like to use the word homelessness, but I found myself in a position where I was unhoused and I had to seek resources. And that all came into part because I was giving, but I wasn't giving enough to my household. So, yeah, I was so ashamed. So, Jay, I thank you for speaking up on that. Because imagine how many of us here, right, in the LinkedIn community, maybe either going through that or maybe have been through that and overcame it, and how all of us can empower one another. And not only that, but again, I'm going back to the community. Because when I share my story with the community members, we now connect in a different level that I didn't connect with before. Now I'm able to share the resources that worked for me that I can give back to them, and what didn't work and what I was told would work and it did not work. And so how do we move past that? And so that's why I'm pushing for the collaboration and the transparency and the actions, because that's where our government system is failing, is that transparency, that we are being told that there's all these resources. And then when we call, no one picks up. It's just silence, or returned away. And there's no solutions that are being provided to us. That's one of the biggest problems that I'm seeing. I've seen it in New York, I've seen it in Texas, and I'm seeing that same problem here in California. So I love your share, Jay. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so happy to see where you are at today. Because life is tough. It could hit us at any time, and we'll feel lost. And to be honest with you, when we're in that crisis situation, we're not thinking straight. It's like we've become a child again. And I can honestly tell you, many of the members that I've come across, I am speaking to children, even though they're adults, but their mentality, because of the stress and all of that comes with the anxiety of living in the car, living outside. And this is not for everybody, but some that I've connected with. It is really difficult to even keep certain tasks. Like, I have a doctor's appointment. I need to get up and take a shower. I need to go eat today, right? Just simple little tasks that is become really difficult to manage because of the housing situation.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay, but just to tag on really quickly, I think, I don't tell my story very often, and I don't know if today is the day either. But in full transparency, just one of the things I've really picked up on is this moment that we're all in. It's a collective of enough of us have gone through a broken system that we're all collectively waking up at the same time, having gone through something horrible that we didn't realize it was going to be that impossible to come back from. And we all have this sense of pride about it. Like, despite everything, look at us, we've shown through. We were faced with this unbelievable amount of obstacles. And I think the thing that I see with everybody in this room, the common theme is everybody has their own way of showing the world different ways forward through experience. And no one way has to be right? It's just, which way can you choose from with all these resources that we could now provide people? Here's what we found. Going through it for you, essentially. We've been through it, and we've come out on the other side successful, and happy. And so what could we share with the world to say, like, yeah, we get it. It was horrible. I was down and out and basically dead in a hospital bed, and came back to God knows what, a much better future is all I'll say. And we could just tell people very simply how we did it and what was broken and then what needs adjusting and move forward from there. It's we don't need to have some grandiose plan. I think it's the simplest of things that could fix it, and that's understanding that finances really control a lot of what goes on. Being very conscientious about where we spend our money and how we spend our time, and just be very deliberate about what we do and guide others with empathy, compassion, and love. And that's about as best as, I mean, again, not to steal words from Jay, but this is just something that's sort of coming to me in the moment, and I'm kind of just saying it out loud because it feels right to say. So that's pretty much it.
Love that.
Welcome, Leah. Amazing to see you.
Yeah, amazing conversation. I just had to come up. I was loving being in the audience. But when you started talking about collaborations, and when my sister shared her story, my love, I had no idea. I had no idea. And recently, I had somebody say this to me, and it really, well, he said, you know what, Leah, you're just an advocate. You're just an advocate. You're not change. You're not a change maker. You're just an advocate. And I really took that really hard. It was very hurtful. It came totally unexpected. And from somebody I never anticipated would say something like, you're just an advocate. And I thought, wow, am I not I'm not making a difference. I'm just an advocate. And then I realized, it takes all pieces to make a puzzle. It takes a head, it takes a tail, it takes the feet, it takes the arms, it takes the eyeballs, it takes a heart. And that's really what the collaboration is. And maybe you have the financial resources to donate. Maybe you have the time to donate. Maybe you have the connections to bring people together. It takes all of us with whatever that intellectual property is, whatever that resource that you have, to make a difference. And so, we've heard this many times where you say things like, take your mess and make it your message. And I think it's easy to give lip service to that, but I really took that because it really did. I got to tell you, I was in the toilet for like 2 days. I thought, wow, I am just, played with my emotions, and I allowed it to just ruminate in my mind. And I thought, and then I realized that, you know what, I'm going to take that message and I'm going to stand on it. I am an advocate. I'm going to be the best freaking advocate you all have. And that's always my intention. I mean, Jay knows I've been talking about his book before he even wanted. I've been pulling on his book, when's the book, advocating for him and his storytelling. He has transformed my relationship with my precious grandson. My precious grandson loves storytelling because of what I've learned from Jay and the storytelling and that magic. You should see him, Jay. The last time I was here, we were having story time, and this little boy was like, "Oh, Gams, we're gonna make shadow puppets, okay? So we're having and I never even talked to him about shadow puppets. So he's acting out the story, making shadow puppets. He's jumping up and down, making all the voices. I said, "Oh my gosh, Jay would be so proud right now. He would be so proud." And with Ollie, he's such an advocate for other people. Look at him. And what if somebody told him, "You know what, Ollie? You're just singing. You're just singing. You're just, that doesn't really have any impact." How many times has Ollie sang to all of us on days maybe he didn't even know we were having difficult times? I know he's done it for me. And he's only sung to me a few times, right? Listen, that has impact. That makes a difference. But it's all of us playing our role. And then my beautiful sister, Miss Marcia, she is absolutely the advocate. She's the doer. She's the activist. And I've been working with her and the puppies and bringing those collaborations together, right? And Chris P., I don't know you that well, but I know that you're being an advocate and you want to be a change maker, and you have this nonprofit, and you're sharing your resources. That's when it all comes together. So I just wanted to come up here because you all were talking about collaborations. And by the way, it does come down to finances. And I'm going to, if I can, give a shameless plug, if that's okay. You know, it comes down to having the infrastructure and the foundation. The infrastructure is our mind. I call it our growth money mind shift. Because people talk about mindset, to me, it's not congruent. We're talking about growth, and then we're talking about set, something that's static, something that doesn't have any vibrancy. So I just really meditated on that, and I feel like it's a growth money mind shift. We have to shift our thinking. And so that's the infrastructure. And then we have to lay the foundation. My Wall of Wealth is a one-page financial plan that really, when you implement it, you will mitigate a majority, if not all, of those booby traps that normally will blindside people and will get them into that homeless situation. I have a client right now who's spending $250,000 to save her life because she didn't have the proper type of health benefits. Now, she is blessed to be in that financial situation to be able to do that. But how many of us would be able to write a check for something like that, for something that was not covered in our health insurance? How many of us have really taken the time to look and understand our health insurance, whether it's a group plan or individual? What are those gaps? What does it cover? What doesn't it cover? And by the way, having those supplements so that you have those financial resources. And if it was us, that's one thing. But what if that was your child that needed that medical help? What would you do? What would you give? What would you sell? I have clients who have sold everything to be able to get that medical treatment for their children, for their spouse. So that's what I wanted to share. There are options. You do have alternatives, and it's putting down the proper foundation. So I kind of went on a rant, but you guys got me fired up. You saw me in the chat. I was giving a lot of love to all of you in the chat. So thank
No.
you. On that, I will humbly yield my mic for sure.
Ollie, I want to jump in real quick because she's right. First of all, being an advocate is important. This is a person who pleads on someone else's behalf. So if somebody doesn't have a voice, doesn't feel like they deserve a, a seat at the table, and you're that person to help them get there, I'm going to say, whoever told you that you're just an advocate, they need to go sit somewhere else. They don't belong at this table. Because if you're really understanding the word, because I'm a storytelling strategist, right? So I'm all about words. To be able to help somebody gain a voice where they need it. Being an advocate is important. Let's not forget that. I want people to understand that being an advocate is just as important as being a first responder. Seriously. Because if you're in need and your life is at stake and there's nobody there except a person who's going to advocate for you, guess what? Your life is saved. It burns me up when people say you're just this or you're just that. You got me fired up because, man, I see what you do. I see you. And it's important. The other thing I want to talk about real quick was what, and just in the conversations we've just had is, yes, there are systems failing all over this country. The only time that that things move is when there's a disaster. And I've seen it happen because I was part of it. I was able to get housing in a quick amount of time because the barriers to entry to get it dropped because I was in need. because I got out of a tornado. Everybody experiences different storms in their life, and here we are quibbling about, oh, is his need greater than this person's need? And so why does it take a disaster for things to move forward? Because the need is great. Well, if we don't advocate for people who have a need, they will just sit there and wait for things to happen sometimes. And I see Marcia shaking her head because she knows she's in this, in the community, seeing it constantly happen over and over again. And you know what? Advocate is not a bad word. Look at Marcia. Marcia, are you an advocate? She's an advocate.
Yes, I am an advocate. And I'm proud of it. And my title, my degrees, my titles, and I always go back to this because when I present myself in the community, I do have to use that title, because then I'm just another person. But what happens is when I use my title, then I get a sense of more respect, I guess is the word. More like, oh, okay, and then the organization to back me up. But if I'm just calling as just me, to be honest with you, I feel like a nobody. So I'm literally just like starting from scratch, putting my name out there. But we are somebody. Leah, you're somebody. Kelly, you're somebody. Henry, you're somebody. Jay, Ollie, Chris, we're all somebody. So the problem with society, like Chris mentioned, is that many of us will stay back, will watch everything unfold. And yes, when disasters happen, because the government, and I keep going back, they don't want to seem like they're not doing anything. They will seem like they are. In some situations, they will, but in some, not everybody gets the support that they need. And I've seen that, and I witnessed that in Texas. Not everyone got the support that they needed. So, Jay, thank you so much for sharing. Like, you were able to get your support immediately, or I'm not sure, I think it was a couple weeks, but there's some cases that I know that never got support. There were declined for food resources, for hotel vouchers. And I see that now. One of my members said, and I'll say this last, one of my members recently told me he's been homeless for a number of years. He's a senior. He said, they treat us like we're just a number. Like we're just money makers for them, but they're not helping us at all. So I'll leave that there. And I don't want to say it's true, but a lot of our community members are super intelligent people. And they're teaching me every day something new. So they're not just money. They're not money signs. They're human beings that deserve everything that we all get as working class. Some of them just have mental health issues, medical conditions, and some of them do choose to be outside, but there's more people that want to be off the streets.
So
sorry, guys, I get so. Ugh.
Don't be sorry. We need to hear the true voice. We need to hear the true voice. And before I yield the mic, I thank you again for you for jumping on stage and for expressing your voice. I would like also to say that it's what I've seen in Mayotte. I don't know if it's the English word, but Mayotte is from France. And I've seen like, oh, there is a catastrophe, and oh, there are politics that are going to Mayotte to see what they can do. But there is also quite anger, and especially when it comes to politics, to say, okay, I can do better than XYZ. That's what we are saying with also someone like Marine Le Pen, who is trying now to get voices. I might be assuming things, but I'm truly sure there is an intention of gaining more votes for the next election, and not really to help. And that's what I've seen also in a city like Valencia in Spain, where the population is really angry because of the inaction and the non-preparedness about the government. So it's what is really striking is that when people, whatever it's about the disaster or the financial condition that makes someone having housing difficulties, if they are not if they are not finding the resources that they need to get back up, there are two alternatives. Either they are going down and down and ultimately dying, or really enduring unnecessary suffering, or they are making violence because of the violence of the system. The violence is back from some people, and or going down to suicide or to drugs or whatever, to get back up. And so that's really important, that there is enough resource on earth for 10 20 billion people. But if 80-90% of the population is having 10% of resource, and there is resource controlled by 1 or 2% of the population, that's really the disaster. And when we are also blaming people to not do anything for the environment, the climate change, we are forcing people to say, okay, buy a new vehicle, renovate your house, whatever. And at the same time, there are people, part of the 1% population, that are flying 10, 20, 13 times per year or more to their jet, and making the greater impact than thousands and thousands of people. So that's really, so now I'm going to yield the mic. Thank you so much.
If I may step in for a moment and try to keep it brief, because that is touching on the subject that most interests me, which is politics. I agree fully with the fact that resources, though limited, are enough to provide for everyone in this world. I think back constantly to what I call the stupidest problem that we have at the very least here in the United States, and I know that it affects other people elsewhere, and that is food waste. Because I want someone to try to explain to me how it makes sense that we can, at the same time, have food that is wasted in the fields where it is grown, because the suppliers, like the markets that buy them, want perfect, beautiful fruit. And oh, this peach is not a 10, it is a 9 or an 8. So I will not give you the money that you want for it. I will not buy it. And it rots in the field. Um, and we have, I think, billions of pounds of food that go to waste in this country. And at the same time that that happens, we have, I forget what the number is. I'm sure it's gotten worse since then. But I think 1 out of every 5 families in this nation, in the United States, that has food insecurity. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 million people in this country who struggle to get all the food that they need, and if their families, to provide for their children, while we have food rot in the fields. I want someone to try to explain to me how that makes sense. And the answer is, it doesn't make sense. If your priority is to help people, to take care of them, to feed them, to clothe them, make sure that they're doing fine. But if you have a system that says, no, 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 the important thing is profits. We need to make more money every year. We need to have higher returns on investment every year. That is what is most important. Then of course it can lead to ridiculous, unproductive, hurtful policies like letting food go to waste, as long as the federal government subsidizes that loss. And it, I think, is probably emblematic of just how the system as it stands does not is not meant to benefit people. It's not meant to help people. It's meant to benefit, as you were saying, Holly, those at the very top, the ones that have the money and the power to influence elected officials who write laws to benefit them, and then they can spend some money on that, and the cycle continues. And if it every once in a while it just happens to help people, oh, such a great system. Who could argue against such a system? It helps people. That the help that it gives, quote unquote, is not a feature of the system. It's a bug in the system, and it needs to be completely reversed, inverted. No, a system where we help everyone and it fails 1 out of 1,000,000 times would be far better. But I don't want to go down this route now because I understand that time is limited and others might want to comment. But I agree with you fully that it really is about working to create systems that are meant to put people over profits, not the other way around. Thank you so much for your time.
See, I have to jump in because I love what he just said, because that's exactly what my nonprofit is being designed to do. It is going to be clean energy, clean water, and food for everyone. That's what we're trying to build. I haven't been very candid about this. You guys can join. You can follow the website or follow the company page. Follow what I've been posting, what I've been writing about. I'm screaming it to the world. I'm not being shy about it. Clean water, clean food, fair equity, real opportunities for real people just to have the basics to succeed. And just one last thing I want to talk about in terms of advocacy, Lee, sometimes I think what the person who may have been doing, sometimes a good leader knows how to piss off a good advocate on purpose, because when you're pissed off and you're challenged, God, do you go to work? And so sometimes it's all right to try to upset people if you know that having them mad at you for a week or two is going to get them moving.
Good point.
I don't mind when people get mad at me for 2 or 3 weeks if they understand, if all of a sudden they're moving a hell of a lot faster.
Yes, the courage to be disliked, and as long as you are moving the needle for the world to be a better place, that I what I call success at the end, because I was like again, I my grief is not over, but well, near a month ago, I lost one of my best friend, and he's with God right now. And it's to realize that anything that we can do is until our last breath, and it's about doing it and not waiting an hypothetical future where we might not exist anymore. So it's about giving any, could be action, presence, care, resources if we have money, whatever. But it's to do something to make this world a better place, and that's what I call success: is to be able to make few hearts, 1 to 5 thousands of hearts, and people easier to breathe. That's the quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. That at some point I'm going to draw in the comments. But it's like success is not because money come and goes. Who will care in 100 years that Elon Musk has $4 billion, 400 billion? Rockefeller is not alive anymore, and it's about what are you giving to each others, and money is a currency that is not owned by us, but time. We have all time, and time is precious. And for some people, it's a few hours. Sadly, there are some babies that are already go out of the world, but life is not granted. Tomorrow is not granted. I would be happy to say that I live until 40 years in the future from now, but it's not granted. So what I'm doing to do each day is important, and that's my share. I yield the mic to anyone, and this session will end in 10 minutes, let's say.
Okay. I'll just say my little bit. Like Chris was talking on, I'm trying to create a noise so I can create I'm hoping just one soup kitchen in the
city of Sydney, that is a model that works with people that are just disengaged from the whole community and have that shame and the stigma of being either homeless or hungry or out of work, and creating a family community where it's safe, but all the food waste that comes from the supermarkets and the markets, the fruit and vegetable markets, and all they do is make soup, and you learn how to make soup, and you can live off soup, and that's enough. But if you can teach someone how to identify what's okay and what's not okay, and how to just do something really basic, they can then work from there. And it's because it's not, my concept is it's free. It's just a soup kitchen. If you can pay, you pay, but it's really just a 24/7 hub for those, because if hospitality, for example, you don't finish till 12 or 2 or 3, so everyone doesn't just live in the 9 to 5. And I think to have something that's a safe place, I'd like it to be successful, so it's copied and pasted like a franchise everywhere to make people accountable for the waste. And if you don't have a permanent soup kitchen or something acknowledging the fact that even if you kept cooking soup for the rest of the days on earth, you're feeding people, but you're also teaching people, and you're bringing them together without feeling they're worthless. And so that's what I'm trying to create this year, and I'm writing a book, and so it's really hard because I've got so many things in my head, and I don't know which. I just have to believe I just focus on one point at this stage and get that real and big and supported, and from there I'll just see what happens. But this year's been amazing with LinkedIn and the connections and the support, and it's it's like my cup is overflowing, so sometimes my eyes water because I'm so full with blessing. So that's what I'm wanting to do, but it could change shape because it's all just faith. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting the words out, and it's coming straight from my heart, and I've got a direct line to the creator, so because it's cheaper than the internet and more reliable. But that's my year this year, and to get stronger and develop skills, and read a lot of Chris's posts. There's not enough hours in the day to read all the good posts on LinkedIn, I'm afraid. But also get involved in I think Go Brunch, and just keep networking and help. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Kelly. And what before I yield the mic to someone else, I would like to say that what is amazing is that making a soup is really on the positive impact, not only for the people, not only for socializing, but also for the food. Because we can use any type of food, like the quote unquote unsellable food could land on the soup and give resource and nutrient, and not being wary about this food, this vegetable is deformed or whatever. It is a resource that could be giving energy and giving hope. It's even more than food or energy. It's about giving hope and lifting hearts that have really tough moments. And so that's why I think it's a super initiative.
Oh, super response.
Yeah, I know that I use excellent puns, but
but no, thank you. Just,
yeah.
but don't you see? towards people is the same towards food. If it's not perfect, it's discarded. So I think there's a lot of messages, even in,
Oh yeah,
if you look at it. Yeah. Sorry, you go.
exactly. And I want also to honor my French teacher who really planted the seed of critical thinking, because it's not only about teaching French, but also showing movies like Metropolis, or books like Brave New World, or poems like If. And it's about critical thinking, to realize that what is happening right now was happening 80 years ago, and now is the time that we have to change. I don't imagine my life at 60 or 80 years old realizing that what's happened in 2060 was happening in 2000, or what's happening in 1920. It's like, we need to elevate hearts, and to also make the people accountable when they are quote unquote in power, because at the end it's also to realize that we are in power, but do we use our power as a human species towards the 0.1% that are controlling us? So we have power. It's just to realize, do we use this power to make the change? Because at the end, if we are not using this power, we are as much responsible, sadly, and I plead guilty, as the people that are leading us. Because if we are not making this change to say, okay, no, guys, it's up to make a change, if we are not making a change ourselves. So that's really also a wake-up call for me to make actions. So I will be the last to speak. So feel free, everyone, to if you want to give an answer about what you expect for 2025.
Who?
Are you asking us to speak for what
Anyone?
we expect for 2025?
Yes.
I expect things will be much more positive than people are anticipating, because we're having these conversations now. I think that 2025, I expect it to be a year that is initially turbulent, as we get some stories and we see some more of the unraveling around the world that we see. It's going to frustrate us, but I think it's only going to strengthen our resolve. And I think by the time we see this year out, by the time 2025 is done, there is going to be a massive global change. That's just my honest belief from the bottom of my heart. I think we're going to see something positive, not negative. I really truly believe that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Is
So, oh, go ahead, Kelly.
no, go. You go.
Yeah. So, 2025 is definitely going to be an interesting year. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And I definitely see more community involvement. I can certainly tell you that. The more we share in the community of what we're doing, the more people are going to want to get involved. So, and if you have a nonprofit, I have a nonprofit, Chris, you have a nonprofit, continue to work on those collaborations. I remember I had someone, and I took it in a negative way, but I think now that I'm getting super involved in this, I understand now. The comment that was made to me personally was, we don't need any more nonprofits. We have enough. Right? I'm not getting any grants. Everything that I'm doing is voluntarily. And if anyone wants to donate, they donate, right? I prefer in person so that I could deliver the product. If there's any donations that are made, then I deliver the products, obviously, how I can, how possible I can. I prefer in person, though. And there's many reasons for that. The transparency of giving back to the community, the importance of that. I'm also learning a lot from the members in the community of what the need is versus what the need is not. So I think the more we all can continue to share what we're learning, and I can certainly tell you right now that I created care bags for the community members this Christmas, and I had folks in the community reach out to me after telling me that they want to be part of whatever I'm doing moving forward. So sharing will bring those volunteers to come and be part in your community. So yes, we want to do global, of course, but I've realized starting small and creating that heartbeat, right? Just start. It will definitely create that momentum because people will want to be involved. And so we just have to keep having these conversations, and we will be creating that global movement, Chris. I am sure about that. 2025, we will be creating a global movement. It will be here on LinkedIn, and then also in our own communities.
Yes.
Thank you. And so for me, 2025 will be drawing a line in the sand. And that's a difficult moment for me, but it's to still be connected with myself, my inner child, my heart, but to set up more boundaries, and also to be aware about the time that I spend, and be aware about my finances. And that's really 2025 is the year that I cannot repeat what I did in 2024 and the years before. I cannot do the same as I did before. And so it's really also to honor myself and to allow, by instance, something that I was not comfortable to do, but to say, okay, let's help me also. Let's help me to serve you through my language coaching and to be more upfront about my services. So right now I'm going to envision. Sorry, having some technical, but is to envision, to spend time on things that really matter for me, to still pour some love to people, but not to be mindless about financial expenses. So 2024 was amazing because I went to Barcelona for my new language conference. I was also to Lucca, and I was in London. And although I don't regret to have been in London and UK, I think I would have been more careful about my finances when I went there. But at least I was connecting with my body. I was reclaiming my energy, and now it's the time for me to say, okay, I pour my services, and I'm more mindful about income and receive income, because I gave probably too much to some people, and now is the time that I am more mindful. So in 2025, I still have envisioned 3 events. Again, Barcelona, that's my priority number 1. Lucca, if I have the ability, and May and April in London, I will see. But I will really be mindful about not spending too much, because I'm already in the red. So it's like I cannot do anymore what I did in 2024. So really to be mindful about that. And that's it. It's to put myself in the universe and in the receiving hand, which is not easy for me. But now is the time that I'm more mindful about that. So that's it. Any other comments or remark?
What would you consider is a good donation for a coffee cup? What's a non-offensive one? for you. The barcode. If we were to buy you a coffee every now and then, how do we do that? Ollie, on this barcode.
There
Is that
is the link.
so?
It's a
Just scan.
QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
in the next days or weeks, I'm going to set up a Stripe link where I can give all the information about my coaching services, one-on-one, group, whatever, and to really be mindful about that, to have a link tree, to put myself more upfront, and also to say more no's, because it's easy. What I realized is that I think for some people it might be a disaster, the end of LinkedIn audio, but for me it's a good thing, because LinkedIn Live, there is a replay, and if it's later, then it's never. But at least I focus on the things that are because the fear of missing out. So it's really to realize that time is precious, and the time that I pour some of my water in other buckets is not time where I pour my own water in my own bucket. So it's really to realize about the energy that I have, the time that I have, that and I'm happy to spend time with amazing people like Jay, like Marsha, like anyone, in fact. But at the same time, it's also to realize that I have my own time and my own resources, my own finances to take care of, because I don't want to be one of the community members that he's having on housing. That's my fear right now.
But you'll let us know if you're struggling.
Of course. And so it's to ask help also. That's the most difficult thing for me, because I help a lot of people, but who's going to help Holly if he's not asking for help? So that's a huge realization for me.
Good. Keep your eye out. I'll buy you coffee.
Yeah, I love that, Ollie. You brought up some incredible points. And how I'm reconciling the whole LinkedIn audio thing is that for me in my mind, that was the seed planting time. We were all planting lots of seeds, making connections, learning public speaking, how to connect with people, and learning who they are, right? Really hearing them, focusing not on their aesthetics, but just really getting a chance to really hear their voice and their message. And now I think it's a harvest time. Now that we're coming here and we're the people, those of us who step into this video, it's time to reap the harvest, because you've heard our voice, you've heard our stories, you know who we are kind of from the audio time. And now it's time for us to step into that, Ollie. So I love that you said that it is time for you to reap your harvest. You've planted many, many seeds. You've poured into all of us in all of those rooms. You've sung to every single one of us, and we've all have enjoyed that. And now I believe it is your harvest time. It's all of our harvest time, those of us that are here right now. And I wanted to highlight something you said, Kelly. I don't know what is happening with me this year. Maybe I'm just meditating more, but words have really just seem to be sticking out to me so loud. And one word that I would ask you to really consider taking out of your language is the word just. I heard you say it a few times, and you said, it's just one soup kitchen. It's just soup, and it's just this. But you know what? And Ollie said it to you. I mean, soup, you're right. People could live on soup, and you can create incredible creations out of seemingly nothing, things that are being tossed aside, and look what you're doing. And it's one soup kitchen, but now you're setting a template, and others may copycat or they may join in on you. So I really would encourage or ask you to really consider eliminating that word when you're sharing your incredible message, because it is an absolutely incredible, powerful message. And with that, I would say my word for 2025 is thrive. I believe that it is our time to thrive in all areas. This is the year for us to lock arms and to really have those true collaborations. Collaborations are fine when we're doing these networking things, and that's great. But what is it behind that? When we peel back the layers, but pull back the curtain, what does that collaboration really look like? Are we really connecting people who could benefit from us? We know who we are. Who can we connect that could benefit from our services, benefit from our collaboration, benefit from our nonprofit? And my mentor said this to me a couple of years ago, and I think it's even more true today. It's no longer who we know, it's who knows you. It's who knows you and your message that matters most. So this was incredible, Ollie. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity to share. And yeah, this was really incredible. And I'll yield the mic there.
Thank you for joining for these amazing first days of 2025. I love to play with that word because in fact it's 2024 was probably going forth. But 2025, I think it's also to be aware about our actions, our impact, our words that we say to others, and to our the energy of time, of currency that we are giving to others, and to first to pour that on ourselves, because we can not really pour anything from an empty bottle. So it's really to also, that's a huge challenge for me, is to say, okay, Oli is worthing. So Oli is first, and it is not egoistic, because if Oli is second and others are first, then if there is nothing left for Oli, there is nothing left. So I think that's most important for me to realize, it's okay, Oli is first, and then if it's overflowing, I send to the rest, but it's Oli first. Now it's the time that I really allocate for myself, for reclaiming also. So that's my final words. I agree about the thrive and the harvest. It's time to harvest, to take the fruits of what I planted seeds many months, during 60 months, in fact, since 2020. I planted a lot of seeds. So it's nice to know, to be aware about my time, and less videos, less than. So it means also that this session is something that will really be rare. More than 2 hours, it will be rare. So taking more values about my time, and helping friends, but also helping myself first. So that's it. So you have 1 minute each for the last, before I close the session.
Yeah, Ollie, thank you so much. You know, for me, you're right. It's taking action, and one of the last things of 2024 and now into 2025 that I'm doing is building that website so that I can get people the help they need in sharing their stories. I came to a revelation recently, and it was because of Amazon, of all places. They took out my book from a couple of categories because they didn't think that it belonged in those categories. And I said, excuse me? Online advertising was one of those categories. I said, the rules of engagement in storytelling and online advertising has a direct correlation, if you didn't know. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that storytelling is integral in every single type of communication we have between one another. And that's my mission for 2025, is to make sure that people understand storytelling is not just what we do at the bedside of our loved ones, right? Important thing, as you can see, right, with Leia and what she shared earlier. But it expands and expounds further than that in each and one of our daily lives. It's something that's part of us. And it's encoded in our DNA because we come from a long line of storytellers, if we believe it or not. We just have to tap into that DNA. It may be dormant, but it's there. And that's my purpose. And that's what I want to do for 2025. Now,
It's time to wake it up. It's time to
yeah,
wake it up.
absolutely. And so that's the storytelling part. The other part is, man, I've been through it all in 2024 when it came to business. The ebb and flow. Well, maybe a lot of ebb, sometimes more so than I wanted, right? And so I want to help small businesses. So once we get your story straight, I've got two other things I want to help businesses with, small businesses specifically, and that is getting a source of capital or financing if you want to scale your business. So I'm partner already have the relationship to help with that. So you partner with me, we partner with this financial institution, and we get you the capital you need to scale your business. The other part is there are people in the world that need jobs, and they are in third world countries that we can assist. Let's look at it from a different perspective and change the paradigm. And we can get virtual assistants who live in third world countries who need money, right? And so we can help them grow their economies from where we are and help ourselves with our economies by employing them, become part of the global economy. And then in turn, once we reach a certain plateau, we'll be able to scale the business. We can then make sure that we help everybody that we can in our surrounding community as well. So that's what I'm working on for 2025.
Well, since we all get a minute, I'm just going to do a quick minute and say that I send Kelly a message on the side and I'm coming up with an idea in the moment. So feel free to be critical, add, or subtract, whatever you guys want to do. I'm thinking about a Friday feature for all good ideas like Kelly's, since I've got a newsletter that already goes global. And then since we got a storyteller on stage and an advocate and some other people, nonprofits, and some other people who are good at translating, maybe we could set up storytelling about an article that goes out globally once a week and invite people to come talk about it at a set time and date, and invite 1,800 people at once in a newsletter.
Sounds
I'm
perfect.
close to 2,000 at this point. I should be there
Yeah.
very soon. And they go to some of the most important people in the AI, medical technology, and believe it or not, I've made a pretty good inroads with a lot of people in the United States government who get my newsletter. So if this is something that you guys want to just go straight to their inboxes with and set up a storytelling, Jay's much better at storytelling than I am. Ollie's much better at communicating on a global scale than I am. Kelly's got a great simple idea, which is something I suck at, is finding simple ideas. Lee, you clearly have some superpowers, and sorry, I'm blanking on your name in the top right. I can't read because it's very small, but uh, obviously we got two people who are starting nonprofits who have the same type of synergy. So I'm saying let's just collaborate in real time, on a weekly basis. Just start getting a message out there. That's my 1 minute.
We may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Ah, we'll have to have a song for the week as well.
Well, tomorrow there is a Blessing Sunday, so tomorrow I might have a karaoke, a go brunch karaoke.
Oh, that'd be good. What's this? Who's next?
Yeah, I'll go
Henry,
next.
okay.
Oh,
Leah,
go ahead.
and then Henry. Leah, and then
Okay.
Henry.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a collaboration in real time. And that comes out of inspiration. And so many times we get these inspired actions, or these inspired messages, but we don't take action. We get these gentle nudges. Like that was something that was percolating in Chris, and he could have easily just kind of said, you know what, I'll talk to them offline. I'll maybe reach out later. I'll send them something messages. But what he did, he took inspired action. And when we take that inspired action, that's when really things can go from, I call it going from zero to hero. Listen, we're entrepreneurs. We're not employees. Employees are linear. They go step by step. Entrepreneurs, we can change the world. You guys, we absolutely can. And I truly believe that it is my year to thrive. I believe it's all of our years to thrive. And I talk about every area of our life, in our faith, in our family, our finance, our fitness and fun. People say, well, you know what? I don't want to be rich, Lee. I don't need a lot of money. I just want to be happy. I just want to love my family. And I say, you know what? You don't have to pick. You can have both. You can have a great family and have a great life with your family and love on your family, but you can also be stinking freaking wealthy. Because by the way, when you have more to give. And if you don't want all that money for yourself, look at all these nonprofits that we're surrounded by, all these other advocates and people who would like to give generously to the community, and we'll put those dollars to good use. So that's my time, Mr. Ollie. Thank you so much. This was so fun. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I was able to jump on here.
Well, I'm so glad too. Ollie, were you going to say something?
No, I'm so glad you joined, because if I'm the only one on stage, it's like blah 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 blah. But it's great to have all the energy. So I'm really grateful that you came on stage, and I'm happy to help you and to elevate with you and to elevate myself first, of course.
Oh, thank you so much, Leah, Ollie, Chris, Jay, Henry, Kelly, and everyone that joined us. I can't believe it's almost been 3 hours, Ollie. Well, I've been here for, I think, 2. So I actually just got inspired by everyone. This is something that I've been thinking about since last year, and I just posted it now. I am looking for volunteers who want to be part of conversations like we just had about our in-house folks. And I'm really gearing for more of a worldwide and nationwide. So if we could, let me know if you want to connect. This will be streamed on Connect Impact Hub's YouTube channel, and it will be for education purposes, but also getting that momentum going for ending homelessness. So I'm really excited. I just put it up just literally a couple minutes ago. So Ollie, I'm so thankful that I joined. You all inspired me as always. And I'm just so grateful every day to be able to come to a community where we're all learning something from one another. And also we're receiving love and kindness and compassion from each one of us here. And there's no other platform that I've come across that I get the support that I do here on LinkedIn. And this is all because everyone here, we all want acceptance. We all want that kindness and respect and compassion. So I love you all, and I do have to jump off. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.
Are you able to leave the link on the comments so we can find how to contact about that inquiry?
I can.
You can? That'd be great.
Yeah, I will give all the links of the comments for initiatives from Marsha with Connect Impact Up, from Chris, and so that everyone could be able to connect with each other and help each other, elevate each other. So with that,
Excellent.
I am right now ending the room because 3 hours is incredible. And thank you so much, and keep shining, everyone. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año felicidad. I
That's the
wanna
house.
wish you a Merry Christmas, even if it's done a Merry Christmas, even if it's finished, Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, we're gonna have to have an album, Ollie. A
Well, it
Christmas
will
album.
be the ravioli, the album ravioli.
Oh, it might be with chicken. This
Hmm,
chicken. No, you're vegan.
yeah,
Ollie, okay. Eggplant.
yeah. So now I'm going to end the room.